Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It's Wednesday evening, we are in the middle of the week, and goodness what a day it has been for news here in the UK. The first news this morning was that the inflation rate had gone down 0.1%, but the inflation rate has gone down. Isn't that fabulous? Not really, because although there was so much positivity about how much this was unexpected, they hadn't been expecting it to go down, they thought it was going to go back up, it doesn't mean prices are going down. It just means they're not going up as fast. That's all it means. So sadly, all this hoopla about the inflation rate not being as high as we thought it was going to be, and isn't that wonderful? It's great news for the economy. It's not exactly going to make that big a difference to the things that I have to pay for. It's not making that big a difference to my daily shopping of things I have to buy. It's not making that much of a difference to my fuel, which they think is going to go up because the cost of Brent crude is now up to 95, I think it is, a barrel or something. So fuel prices are going to go up. That's going to possibly push inflation up next month. So yeah, although there was all this mass excitement this morning, it wasn't particularly something that I saw as hugely beneficial to us. Certainly not at 0.1%, can I just say. So that was the start. Then there was all the gossip. Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister, is going to make a statement about net zero. And there was all the leaks. He was going to say this and he was going to say that. And, the car industry were against it and the net zero people were against it, but some people were for it. And he came on saying, I'm going to be a proper Prime Minister and we're going to look at long-term goals here. Funny that, eh? But seemingly the electric cars are not going to come in for another 5 years, or the stopping selling of petrol and diesel cars is not going to be stopped for an extra 5 years. Landlords don't have to upgrade their homes, the rental properties, the way it was supposed to be done, because there was a rule coming in that landlords had to bring your property up to this energy performance certificate. It had to be up to a specific level. That's no longer going to be here. And what is the other one? Gas boilers and heat pumps, because some people will not even need to get heat pumps. But what I'm seeing is that the big things about the cars and the heat pumps and the gas boilers and stuff, but the properties that people are living in do not need to be upgraded anymore. Or certainly not to the same level that they were going to have to be, at the speed they were going to have to be. So if you're in a privately rented property, you don't expect your work to get done anytime soon. And funnily enough, then I was watching the news this evening, and on ITV News, the 6:30 news, I had that on when I was having some foods, and seemingly in England and Wales, somebody in a privately rented property gets evicted every 8 minutes. So basically, by the time you've watched this video and the adverts, somebody will have been evicted in England and Wales from their private rented accommodation. And priority, of course, is given to people with children, people with disabilities or whatever. They have to get rehomed in specific places. If you don't, I actually know someone who got given a tent by the council. A young man lost his flat. He was given a tent by the council. That was in London, that wasn't here. So where you can get placed is, well, who knows? There's so many things, and it's things like they say, oh, you could have a self-contained flat or whatever, or you could be in a bed and breakfast, or you could be in a hotel, or you could be in a hostel. But if you've got kids, we'll try not to put you in a bed and breakfast where you share the toilet with the room next door. So that's what you've got to look forward to. But there's this huge amount of people are now becoming homeless. And they did a report on a school down south, and half the kids in that school are in temporary accommodation, which means they don't have cooking facilities. You know, their dinner will be a cheese sandwich because they're not allowed to cook in the room. And it's just so scary. And, you know, if the government could do so much building after the war, I think the way we're going just now, surely they need to do some building now, you would think. But yeah, that's seemingly becoming a huge problem, especially because with the rise in interest rates, private landlords who had done the property making money, I mean, don't get me wrong, over the last 20 years, they've made loads and loads and loads of money. But what they did is they mortgaged one, made some equity, mortgaged another. Some of them have got 4 or 5 or 25 mortgages going at the same time. Imagine that going from 1.5% to 6% on 20 odd properties. There is a lot of, if you go on Zoopla or Rightmove, there's a lot of properties just now being sold with a tenant in situ. They just can't afford to pay for the mortgage that they've taken out to try and make money off of this rental property. So yeah, that's going to be a thing. So that report, of course, is prior to the interest rate announcement tomorrow. So it'll be interesting to see what's happening with that. There's some places now saying that they think because inflation went down 0.1%, that they won't put the interest rate up. They'll hold it. But other people are like, no, it'll still go up. And Rishi Sunak's standing there going, we're stopping heat pumps because we don't think it's fair to make people spend 20,000 on a heat pump in this cost of living crisis. People don't have a home to put the heat pump in, never mind have a heat pump. Honestly, you know, sometimes you just wonder at some people. So yes, that's my thought today. There's all this going on, and because all this is going on, I'm just a tad suspicious. There's something else somewhere. I'm not liking this. However, mine's not to wonder, is not the reason why, and all that sort of stuff. So tonight I was going to be doing my packing for my holly bags, and no, I've eaten too much. So I'm going to go and be a slob on my chair and rest for the rest of the evening. Catch you later.